Hello, Bobo here. Whoa! I thought I'd do a quick recap on some of the skills and perks for artillery because some people have been asking and stuff. So I'm going to do a really quick, nice and simple what you should do with your artillery. Here's the Object 261. It's one of the Russian tier 10 artillery pieces, and you're going to be firing in this a lot of armor piercing rounds as well as HE rounds and switching between them. So that's where intuition really comes into its own with the two loaders. Both loaders have got it at 100% here, so you've got 34% chance that you're going to switch instantly between shells. It does happen fairly frequently as well, so it is very handy to have. So as you can see here, I got camouflage up to 100%, I switched it out for Brothers in Arms, then I did camouflage again, and then once that got to 100% I switched it out again for Brothers in Arms, intuition, then worked on camouflage. And the other perks for the loaders aren't too helpful, so I've just left them there to save me having to spend any more gold, or I can just let them get up to 100%. Adrenaline Rush and Safe Stowage aren't going to do anything until they get to 100%, but I'm not too fussed. These three perks are the main ones that the Object 261 is going to need, so that's great. With the driver, I did a similar thing where we did camouflage to begin with, then we switched it out for Brothers in Arms once it got to 100%. Then we started with camouflage again. I decided to keep with camouflage. I think, yes, I did. And then I got clutch braking. So once clutch braking works on accumulatively. So clutch braking really helps with artillery. So that's at 100%. And then I just left control impact to save on some gold, which was really nice. Then with the gunner, we did again the same thing. We started off with camouflage, then we swapped it out for Brothers in Arms, and then camouflage again, and then once that camouflage got to 100% I swapped it out for snapshot, then start camouflage back on. And Deadeye, just because you use armor piercing rounds, once that gets to 100% that could be kind of useful but not too useful, so that's why I'm just going to leave it as it is, and I don't need to spend any more gold on it. I can just continue grinding. And then finally the commander, we did the same thing again. We did camouflage once it got to 100%, switched it out for Brothers in Arms, then camouflage again, then when that got to 100% I switched it out for 6 cents, then we started situational awareness because that accrues over time, and now that's reached 100% we've started on recon because those two will combine, and the 3% from a situational awareness, and then once recon gets to 100% that will be an extra 2% on our view range. Now after a couple of patches ago all of the artilleries got nerfed when it came to view ranges, so anything that can help you spot something is going to be very useful. That's generally with artillery, once you get spotted you're going to cop it, so that's why we go for Brothers in Arms over 6 cents for the first perk on the commander. But there are the odd occasion, depending on which artillery you're playing, as to what's most useful. Say with the Burt you might want 6 cents first because it's got that shorter range, you're going to be up close to the targets and things like that. So yes, some people argue that camouflage on the higher tier artillery aren't as useful as some of the other perks, so you could stick camouflage further down. I mean, we could switch these round and have camouflage as the last perk that they're working on. I feel that by the time you've completed your third perk you want camouflage on pretty much all of the crew, because it works across all crew members. If only one person has got it, it's not going to be as effective. I do feel like with the Object 261 here that the commander not having camouflage is not too much of a big deal. I don't really have too many problems with it. Maybe once he finishes recon, then he might start on camouflage. I think that would probably be the only other thing that's useful. So yeah, I think that when you get into the later perks and skills, depending on the artillery that you're driving, depends on what you're going to be using. I mean, intuition might not be very useful on something that fires primarily HE like the Conqueror gun carriage, but it might be useful on things like the Object 261 or the GW Tiger Penis or the GW Tiger, etc., because you're going to be firing AP rounds as well as HE rounds. Again, with the T92, it's not going to be as effective. Some people fire AP rounds. I personally have no luck with the armor piercing rounds at all because the T92 isn't the most accurate of machines, so I tend to stick to high explosives. So again, it depends on how you play, how close you sit to the enemy, the places on the map that you choose to sit, and how much you move around. So yes. I hope this has helped in some way. It's not an easy thing to describe, and it's something that, depending on the vehicle and depending on your playstyle, may depend on what you choose. But I do feel for the first couple of perks, this is how you should do it. I think this is the most effective way of managing the skills and perks for artillery. So yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you've got any other suggestions on how the skills and perks for artillery might work, then let us know in the comments below. And yeah, I will see you in a future episode. Bye!